It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is the official post-fight review for Ginjiro Shigeoka as he took on Daniel Valladares for the IBF minimum weight title, as well as his brother Yudai Shigeoka as he took on Panya Pradabsri for the Wbc minimum weight title. So this was a very historic occasion because you had two brothers who, for the first time in the history of the sport, had a chance to both win a world title in the same weight class on the same show. It's never been done before, so obviously a lot of history was on the line. And your result of those fights is Ginjiro Shigeoka with a sound fifth round stoppage over Daniel Valladares. You also had Yudai Shigeoka with a sound unanimous decision over the Thailand champion Panya to capture the WBC title. So listen, I've been saying it for a little bit of time now, but I think right now, if you didn't already believe so, I hope now is yet more of a case to make my point that we are in fact in the golden age of Japanese boxing. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But as far as Shigeoka, let's start with him because Ginjiro Shigeoka is the fighter that people believe is the better of the two brothers. Now, Ginjiro thought that in his first fight with Daniel Valladares that he would kind of had his moment of glory taken from him because Daniel Valladares, some people thought that he kind of looked for a way out in the fight with the head clash, and that's why we had to do this again. And make no mistakes about it, in this fight, Ginjiro Shigeoka made sure to beat the brakes off of Daniel Valladares for what took place in the first fight. You saw him particularly in that fifth round close the gap and really begin to land that left uppercut, and then after that he hit Daniel Valladares with a barrage of shots, and just really in this fight for him particularly a star-making performance. I think in this fight he's definitely now, for a fact, now that he has the hardware to show for it, solidified himself for the time being as the number 2 minimum weight fighter in the world, only behind Oscar Collazo. So that's obviously a fight that the boxing fans want to see. It's probably the best fight that could be made in the division, and I'll have more on that later on. But definitely a sound performance from him. Now, switching gears to Yudai Shigeoka, Panya, he's a tough champion, tough guy. He marched forward and he tried his best, but ultimately I think Yudai was just a bit too sharp for him. Yudai doesn't boast the same sort of punching power that Ginjiro has, but I think he's probably the better boxer as far as just pure technical skills. He might be a bit more technically polished than Ginjiro. Not to say that Ginjiro isn't technically polished, but he did a hell of a job. And you look at Yudai, he's 26, he becomes champion in his 8th pro fight. Ginjiro is 23. And he becomes world champion in his 10th pro fight. So listen, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the sport of boxing, the world is their oyster. These two couldn't have picked a better time in the history of the sport to win a world title, because you got so many Japanese fighters making noise around the world. Obviously, most notably, Naoya Inoue is leading the pack, but then you got guys like Kosai Tanaka and Kenshiro and Hiroto Kayaguchi and people like that. Subaru Murata has been making some noise here in the States, along with Junto Nakatani for Top Rank. So, listen, I really do think the future is bright for the Shigeoka brothers. I know Eddie Hearn, and I gotta do a video about this. Eddie Hearn has mentioned the fact that he could be making some noise in the Japan market. They signed a deal with to enter the Japanese market, so Matchroom's gonna be having shows there. So if they're looking for Japanese fighters to put on these cards, I think the Shigeoka brothers should be prime candidates. They're world champions. They're world champions in a weight class that oftentimes gets overlooked in the sport of boxing. So I think it's a perfect fit. But nonetheless, shout out to them Shigeoka brothers, man. I'm really impressed with what they've been able to accomplish in their career and the skills that they both possess. Hopefully we get both of them against Oscar Collazo, right? Because that either Ginjiro or Yudai against Collazo is probably the fight to make in the division. From what I've read, because I was following the tweets this morning from Jake Donovan and Jamie Bourne over there at Perfect Punch Boxing. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him. He's really deep into this, probably more than me. So from what I've read and what I've gathered, it seems like that the Shigeoka brothers promoters, because they're promoted by the Kameda brothers, right? Because the Kameda brothers have a promotion company. That's who they're signed to, right? So from what I've read, that they're willing to pay opponents top dollars to get to Japan when need be. So really shouldn't be any issue getting Oscar calls to Japan. But nonetheless, that's the news. I don't wanna make this too long and drawn out. But a piece of boxing history this morning out there in Japan, as Yudai and Ginjiro Shigeoka both captured the WBC and IBF minimum weight titles respectively to become the first pair of brothers in the same weight class to win a world title on the same show. So we may never see that again. And shout out to the two talented brothers. But leave your comments down below what you guys think. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.